Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And on the channel today I am going to show you how to cut a male senator top or boba. And if this is the tutorial you are interested in, keep on watching. And if you are new to the channel, please support me by clicking on the subscription button and also on the notification bell, so that once I upload a new video, you will be among the first person to get the notification. The first thing I did was measure the length of the top, and I added 4 inches to it. What you see me measure there was the length of the top. If the length of your top is 34, you are going to add 4 inches to it. And make sure that when you are folding your fabric, it is following the pattern that is on the fabric. Watch what I'm going to do now. I've divided the fabric into 2 equal half. I'm just making sure that the wrong side is facing me. You fold it like so. Yes, fold it like, make sure it is equal. And now I'm going to remove 3 inches from the front. The measurement for the front pattern is going to be your top length plus 1 inches. You heard me right, your top length plus 1 inches. That's what you should have at the front. Now I'm just going to make sure that this place is straight. Make sure you get a straight ruler and you iron the fabric while working. This is very important. When making a menswear, you iron. Make sure you iron perfectly well. All the grace line must be showing. I know some of you might not know what grace line is. The gator, if it's the gator line you want to call it, must be showing. So I'm just making sure that that part is straight. So I'm going to measure the length of the boba plus 1 inches. This pattern is going to be the front part of the male top. So once I have the measurement in place, I'm going to mark 2 points so I can get a straight line, then rule across that line before cutting out. The width of your fold is going to be 1/4 of the widest measurement plus 2.5 inch. Now I'm just placing the front on the back pattern. Yes, I'm placing the front on the back pattern. I'm making sure that what I have left is 4 inches. Yes, it's 4 inches. The back must be longer than the front by 4 inches. Then I'm going to align the top edge of the pattern. Just make sure that all your pattern are aligned. Iron when necessary. Is very important to iron at this point. It is very important. You are making a menswear, so everything about the menswear garment production need ironing. So now that I was sure that I have my pattern in place, I'm just going in to align the front and back shoulder. Then from the side, I'm going to come down 3 inches. Sometimes I use 3.5, 3 inches. So I'm just going to use 3 inches at this point and connect it to the center front of the pattern. Yes, this is the center with a slant line. Once I have that in place, you are going to go in with your scissors and trim off the slants. Yes, so that when you sew this shoulder line, it will relax on your client's body. So you pull the front away from the back and overlap it by 1/2 inch. Yes, you overlap by 1/2 inch. Make sure it is on top of the front pattern by 1/2 inch. If you have iron at this point, please iron. Where the iron is far away from this table, so I'm just going to use pin to pin down this part. And you can see that I'm very careful while placing the pattern together. If you are not placing the male outfit pattern together, you're going to have a bigger problem when you are sewing, because the clothes might not align might not align perfectly well. So make sure you align this very well before applying your measurements and cutting it out. So I'm just using my pin to pin that place in place. Okay, now the next thing I want to do, I want to measure my client's shoulder. My client's shoulder is 10 inches. I'm going to have 1/2 inches for sewing allowance. Yes, so I am marking 10.5 inch here. Okay, now for the sleeve width, I'm going to mark 8.5. I use 8 inches for a slim person, 8.5 for a medium sized person, and 9.5 for someone that is on the extra large or large size of the male outfit. Now the next thing I'm going to do here, I'm just going to mark 1/4 of the widest measurement here, because the client I'm working for plus seam allowance, 1 inch seam allowance. I don't know the person, I only saw the picture. So the person is of a medium size. On the waist, from the shoulder to the waist is 6 inches. I'm just going to remove 1 inches from the widest measurement. So if your widest, of your widest measurement is 10, you are just going to mark 9 on the waist and add the same allowance, or 9.5. And on the hip, I make sure that I use the widest measurement as well. You can see what we have there. For the slits opening, I'm just measuring 10 inches from the hem. Yeah, that's where you have the opening, the slits opening. So that's all. The next thing you want to do is to drop the armhole. Yes, drop the armhole before cutting out. So after I drop the armhole, the next thing I want to do is to cut the pattern. Now please watch the way I'm cutting the armhole. I'm cutting the back of the armhole first along the line that I drafted, and I'm cutting the little excess that we have on the side seam. You can see what we have there. Please make sure that when you are cutting, your hand is straight as well. Place the shoulder slant very well. I'm just going back to use my pin to pin that part down. Now I'm going to cut the front. Now watch the way I'm cut from that same point. Yes, from that same point, the shoulder point, I'm just going to cut out the front. I'm going in by half an inch. I'm going in by half an inch to cut the front armhole. You can see what we have. And I'm going to trim the back armhole by 1/8 of an inch. That is 1/4 of an inch. Then you divide it into 2 again. So that's what we have for the armhole. And as for the neck width, I'm using 2.5 inches for neck width. From the center front, I'm going to mark 2.5 inches. So I'm curving that 2.5 inches into the center back. What the way I'm curving it, I'm curving it into the center back. That part too is 2.5 inches. And for the neck depth, I'm using 4.5 inches. You can use 4 inches if you want, but for me, I'm using 4.5 for the neck depth, because I don't want the neck of the outfit to be very wide. So I'm using 4.5. I'm just making sure that I have the 18 inches or 17.75 inches that I want to use for this client. So the next thing you see me doing is cutting the neckline of this outfit. So watch the way I'm cutting. You can see the way I cut it out. Please be careful while cutting this neckline. Be very careful. Take your time, don't rush yourself, because the neckline of a male outfit is a very crucial part. So you don't just want to cut it out and start having issues with it. So now this is what we have at the end of that. For the back, you can see that it's not straight, so you are going to make it straight. Yes, make sure that that part is straight. Yes, you're going to straighten it. Take your time to curve. I'm just taking my time to straighten that part out. So this is what you should have at the end of the day. This is how to draft the front bodies of and cut the front bodies of a male senator wear as well. You can use this method on the senator wear, on a buba or anything. So I'm going to set this aside and cut the sleeve. You're going to set this aside and cut the sleeve. This is what you should have at the end of the day. As for the sleeve, you measure the front and back armhole, you measure the round armhole. So what you have there, you are going to minus 1 inches from it. So if you measure the round arm and they give you 22 or 20, you divide 20 by 2, that is what, 10 inches minus 1, that is 9. So your fold is going to be 9 inches. But I think I did 10 inches here. Yeah, I think I did 10 inches here. And for the length, if your client's length for the long sleeve is 27, you minus 2.5 inches for the cuff that the sleeve used to have, because this is a long sleeve. Then you go back and add 1.5 inches. The 1.5 inches is for sewing allowance and ease. Sewing allowance and ease. So you have half inches is in. That's what I'm marking here. So I'm marking what I have here. That's my sleeve length minus 2.5 inch plus 1.5 inch. So that's what we have. For the width, I think we use 10 inches for the width. And for the cap height, I'm using 5 inches. From that 5 inches, I'm coming down 4 inches. Now on this 4 inches, I'm going to mark my upper hand measurements here. Yes. And on the wrist, I'm going to mark 6.5 inches. Yes, you heard me right, 6.5 inches. I've included the sewing allowance on this pattern as well. Okay, so see the way I'm connecting this into the armhole. Now you're just going to use your hand to curve this in. Yes, because menswear armhole is not like the female own, so you're just going to curve it in and cut it out. Take your time, don't rush yourself. Take your time to call this out. Notch the middle part. Okay, now what you see me doing is cutting the side seam. You need to cut the side seam. You are. This is what you should have at the end of the day. Can you see what we have here? Now from the center of the sleeve, I'm going to come in 3 inches. Yes, I'm going to come in, not from the side. From the side I measure 3.5, but from the center, yes, you are going to measure 3 inches, and the length is going to be 5 inches. That's for the sleeve flap opening. It's going to be 5 inches. Now you're going to just take in your scissors and open a slit here. Yes, up to 5 inches. So that's that for the long sleeves. So you know which side is the back and which side is the front. Okay, so this is what you should have at the end of the day. And the rest of the fabric, we are going to remove the cuff from it. Yes, we are going to remove the cuff from it. I'm going to upload a new video on how to make the cuff of senator wear. So that's all for now. Please do have a nice day. Subscribe, feel free to like and share, leave a comment, tell us you can leave a comment on which tutorial you want us to upload next. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day and bye.